Good morning, everyone. So we're here to present to you our research paper entitled Online Learning Experience Assessment of Musculoskeletal Discomfort Among College Students Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic. For the flow of this presentation, we are going to start with the introduction, the statement of the problem, the theoretical and conceptual frameworks, methodology, result, discussion, and last would be the recommendation. So to start with, let's first define what musculoskeletal discomfort means. So it refers to pain in the muscles, bone, ligaments, tendons, and nerve. This has become evident especially when the transition of learning from face-to-face or the traditional to the online setup in the college perspective. So most of the students are actually giving complaints like they're having some discomfort experience, especially if they are staying a bit longer in the computer or in their normal setup. The statement of the problem is the researcher would like to answer the following questions. First is, what are the significant factors in online learning that contribute to musculoskeletal discomfort among college students in NCR amidst the COVID-19 pandemic? And second is, what is the impact of ergonomic knowledge on the way college students deal with musculoskeletal discomfort amidst the COVID-19 pandemic? For our framework, we're going to start first with identifying what would be the inputs or the variables that we have to consider. And we were able to come up with the consideration in terms of age, the gender, college year level, posture, activities while at home, type of device used in online learning, the length of use of the device, and the ergonomic knowledge. And then we're going to use or to test these variables in terms of Mann-Whitney U test, the Kruskal-Wallis H test, correlation analysis, and last will be the multiple linear regression. In order to have an idea about the musculoskeletal health, we would like to consider the frequency and intensity of discomfort, the factors using discomfort, and postural habit. In that case, this would be an input in order for us to come up with our expected outcome, which are ergonomically sound habits and practice during online learning, ways on how we were able to reduce persistence of musculoskeletal discomfort, and better appreciation of how important concept of ergonomics are in relation with musculoskeletal health. For our methodology, we're going to use survey questionnaires wherein we are going to identify the demographics, the habits in online learning, and musculoskeletal discomfort. At the same time, in order for us to validate or to process those data, we're going to use statistical tools, namely the test for significance and at the same time the test of relationship, so that we were able to identify what are the significant factors that need to be addressed in our recommendation. So for the results, based on the demographics, it was 64% of the respondents were female, 41.3% were in third year level, and 68% were on the average age of 22 to 32 years. At the same time, 64.3% of the respondents have occasionally been exercising amidst the pandemic, and 70% have been doing household chores regularly. In terms of habits in online learning, it was noticed that 54.5% of the college students were using laptops for online learning. 50.5% of them were spending 5 days on online learning. 41% were spending around 4 to 6 hours on their device for online learning, and 39% has a usual posture of slumped sitting posture during online class. And for the musculoskeletal discomfort, majority of the respondents agreed that the pain they are experiencing has a connection in their posture during the online learning. For our conclusion, so in order for us to address the first question, That is, what are the significant factors in online learning that contribute to musculoskeletal discomfort among college students in NCR amidst the COVID-19 pandemic? So we were able to identify the different body parts that might experiencing pains, which are the neck and shoulder, the upper arms and lower arms, wrist and fingers, upper back, lower back, knees, and feet and ankles. So in this case, we were able to identify the variables that have an effect for those body parts, which we consider the year level, the age, if they are doing household chores, the number of days spent on online learning, number of time, the usual body posture of college student, if they're doing physical exercise, and their gender. So if you've noticed in here, not all of these factors are actually contributing pain to the respective body part. So in most cases, the neck and shoulder are the one that has most of the factors being affected. So, and the rest would be as followed. So if you've seen those that was marked with an X, meaning to say those are the factors that have a significant relationship in terms of the pain that is experiencing in these body parts. For the second question, like what is the impact of ergonomic knowledge on the way college students deal with musculoskeletal discomfort amidst the COVID-19 pandemic? Based on the statistics that was being done, college students' postural habit is not influenced by their knowledge of ergonomics. So most of them are basically aware that those postural habits that they are doing right now are basically have an impact to their ergonomics posture. For the recommendation, yeah, pardon us for the drawing, yan, but we were able to identify like upper back must be straight with shoulder relaxed at side, backrest of the chair supports curve in the lower back, hips as far back on the chair as possible. Then recommended to have an adjustable seat for optional height, around 20-inch to 28 distance from face and monitor. So these are basically the ideal correct sitting posture that we are recommending during the time that they're having the online learning class. We also would like to consider the use of external mouse and keyboard if using laptops, and adjust the height of the table at your elbow level or slightly below it when both sitting and standing. And then the screen must be at eye level. And also these are some of the recommendation if you're going to use smartphones and tablets. So that's basically the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and we will be more than glad to address if you have some clarification or question. Thank you so much.